blessed risings, good afternoon, or good evening. Depending on where in the world you are tapping in from, you got to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show, and today we will be talking about Harry Belafonte, trailblazing performer and fierce civil rights artist, activist, dies at 96. And this isn't we don't disparage over here, but that's why I call them artist, civil rights artist. Because on this show, we've discussed multiple times, what does it actually take to be considered an activist? We just throw the word activist around. And I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna disparage the black man. Meaning that's another topic just in itself. What do we consider a black man? What is black? Well, you know we're not just all one big Negro, right? You do know that, right? This is out of Time magazine. This is by Andrew Chow. Just stuff like that. You couldn't have got a black man to write the article about the so-called fierce civil rights activist. Harry Belafonte, the singer, actor, and activist who broke one barrier after another in his timeless fight for equality and civil rights, died on April 25th. I'm just going to put questions out there. This ain't disparaging them. This ain't a disparaging moment. I'm just saying, in his tireless fight for equality and civil rights, what happened? What was done? What was accomplished? What were the solutions that can be contributed to Harry Belafonte? I'm not saying there wasn't. I'm not saying there is. What I'm posing is the question, not trying to tell you what to think, trying to show you how to think. Shout out J Lava. Hello, McFlizzle. It goes on to say he was 96 and died of congestive heart failure. With knockout good looks and a warm, uh, acrobatic voice, Belafonte rose to fame as a matinee idol in the 1950s, becoming one of the few crossover black stars in a segregated nation. Well, ask yourself, in the 1950s, as a black man, what does one have to do to be accepted? What did one have to do to be able to cross over in a nation full of hatred? His songs included Deo, Banana Boat Song. That's one of his main songs. You see, that's what shot him to fame. Banana Boat Song. De, me say de, me say Deo. Daylight come, me wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, telling me banana. That's the song he sings. I'm just giving you questions. Have you ever looked at the lyrics of that song? Once again, this isn't disparaging. And this song, Jump in the Line. Jump in the line. Run your body and oh, I believe you. Jump in the line. Run your body and come on, everybody, jump in the line. Everybody and these are his songs. I'm just trying to give you some history. Brought a calypso music to American audiences and became enduring hits. So now, do people who do calypso music now, do we consider that black music? Do them artists consider themselves black? While his powerful screen presence propelled films like Carmen Jones and Island in the Sun at venues across the country from Carnegie Hall to Caesar's Palace, he captivated black and white audiences with his ability to inject both deep pathos and impeach humor into a globally expansive repertoire. A lot of word salad. But at the height of his mainstream fame, Belafonte stepped back from entertainment to devote the bulk of his time to the burgeoning uh, civil rights movement. He became a key economic engine and behind the scenes organizer for many of the sit ins, freedom rides, and marches that would sweep the South and propel social and federal change. He raised and personally delivered 7,000 in protesters 70,000 of protesters in Mississippi during their Freedom Summer in 1964 under a blaze of gunshots from the Ku Klux Klan. He became one of Martin Luther King Jr.'s most trusted confidants, serving as a mediator between King and John F. Kennedy's White House. He stood at the front lines at the March on Washington and the final march from Selma to Montgomery. All I'm saying is, someone who's done this isn't disparaging, but for someone who's done so much for the black community, why they ain't try to kill him?
Good question.
They done killed Martin Luther King, who he was marching with. They done killed Malcolm X. They even killed the white boy. White boy didn't even do nothing. But for us, but they even killed the white boy. And if you was around all them helping, pushing for the black community, how come they didn't kill you? How come you got to ride off into the sunset to 96 years old, all this black pushing for equality and civil rights for black people, all this noise you was making on our behalf, and they didn't try to kill you? Once
Hey,
again, not
I
to
had to tap
disparage
in
them.
because you. Hey, I had to tap in because you going like super hard over here, buddy.
I'm
These
not
are good
trying to
questions. No,
disparage,
very good
just
questions.
questions.
You're being objective.
That's all, just questions.
You're being objective, buddy. I feel you. I hear you, and I feel you. I'm like, yeah, those are good points.
That's all I'm
Didn't
asking.
didn't
He could have been this blockbuster and fierce protector of the black community. He could have been that. Put it in the comments. Show me. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying put out the information. Let's
didn't
support
him and
our heroes.
him and Jay Z have a little back and forth too over something?
Hey, I heard a lot of back and forths. I'm not going to even put it out there. I'm just putting out the questions because let the man rest in peace. This ain't a
Yep.
disparaging piece.
Nope.
We not gonna be the one to come and start bashing fam. I let other outlets do that, including other new black media. We don't
Right.
do that over here.
Right. Right.
I'm
No,
just
those are
simply
good
saying
questions.
let's ask the questions.
Yeah, like what does it really mean to do something for the community? Because we know what the people who was really doing something for the people was doing. They dead.
You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not gonna go through the history and all this history. Maybe we'll go back and do a Harry Belafonte piece. You understand, where they can get out all his accolades and him marching and chilling and visiting Martin Luther King and all his exploits and all the wonderful supposed stuff he did for the black community.
Right. Real talk.
I'm simply saying, let's start having questions. What are
Yeah.
we calling an activist? What
Yeah.
are we calling a black activist?
Yeah.
What makes you a fierce activist?
Yeah.
What makes you an activist to your core?
Well, what are you doing? Is the question though.
Well, he flew 70,000 in cash to Mississippi to support their freedom summer, and he whizzed down the highway and he was in pursuit. He was being pursued by the Ku Klux Klan and they were shooting at him.
Oh. Okay. Like I'm like, all right,
And he
that's
was
what
one of
happened.
King's closest friends, but all of it. But for some reason, he's still alive.
Mm.
He lent his voice to We Are the World, and he's done many things to help HIV in Africa and starvation in Africa. Hold on, that's the black. Hold on, what happened? That's the black community. What?
In
How?
Africa. That's what
Huh.
they not. That's what they went to.
In 2002, Africare awarded him with the Bishop John T. Walker Distinguished Humanitarian Service Award in Africa.
And
He made awareness to education in Africa. He made awareness of starvation in Africa. He made aware of it. He put money into HIV prevention in Africa.
okay,
That's all I'm saying. He's of Jamaican descent.
okay. I'm like, okay,
I mean, so he did for his people. Jamaica, Africa. I'm just saying, these is questions, not disparaging. Rest in peace, brother. Hopefully, see you on the other side someday.
straight up.
But we ain't gonna hold you.
Just gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on code, boy. And you know I got 4 words for you, pimp juice. It is love with the peace. Definitely got the blessings, and it's Maloha. And guess what? Out the Doha, for sure how. You already know how. I just want to know, can I